Hi guys, Zangiefsgym, Timothy here, and today we'll be moving along in my series of how to fight Menat with Zangief. So today this is 0.11, this video. I'll be talking about the crouching hard punch with and without the crystal ball. So let's get training mode loaded here so we can Menat here so we can look at this. Cool. So I've not looked at this move yet, so I'm not really sure. I'm sure I've seen it. I'm sure I've had it come my way a few times, but weren't sure what it really looked like. All right, so just up front, the frame data on this for Menats crouching hard punch with the crystal ball is 9 startup frames. She's -5 on block and -1 on hit, so she's going to be in the negative with this one. Oh, yeah, I must have left that setting on the other day. Okay. Alright, yeah, so I'm already right here, so let's go into recording. Let's do that. Crouching hard punch. And then what we're going to do is on slot 2, we're going to have her already crouching. Ooh. Yeah, how do I want to do that? Okay. Just to make sure. Alright, so anyway, alright, so that's good. Those two are good. Let's go ahead and let's get her doing this for us. So let's see what that was. Yeah, so wow, huh? That's straight up in the air. So that's a great anti-air. That's her anti-air. Similar to Zangief, right? That's our anti-air too, is crouching hard punch. That might be a trend, but anyway, yeah, that's really up. So we can, let's see what we can punish her with here. Standing, and it's so slow on startup, so that's pretty easy to counter. Yeah, we can counter this with a standing light punch, standing light kick, medium kick, medium punch. Yep. So we can counter this with all the Zangief's normals, standing normals, standing strong. Just be a little careful with the kick though. Oh, she looks like she's pretty safe. Just have to go in between her attack if you want to hit her with the. Ooh, don't get caught with that though. It does a lot of damage. Yeah. I would say not to do the standing hard kick. That's unsafe. All right, so let's cover the crouching attacks. Okay, so far so good. Crouching light punch, crouching light kick. Those are good. Those are good counters to it. Crouching medium. Oh, definitely on the kick. That's good range. Even the medium punch, that's good. And crouching hard punch, we're gonna be about the same as her. We're just gonna. She's gonna have the advantage over us if we try to do that. So let's not do that. So all the crouching normals are good except the hard punch. And then all of the standing normals are good except the standing hard kick. So we're gonna be pretty good. Yeah, we can even do the knee hammer. We can knee hammer. We won't get too close, but we can knee hammer her. We can come in with the knee hammer preemptively, and we can SPD her because the startup is too. If we hit her, of course we can SPD her. So. Yeah, so wow, this is a huge anti-air for her. This is not going to be something she throws out unless she catches you jumping. But 9 frame startup, she better be getting the jump on us, because if she's not, you know. But if we jump at any point, pretty much, she can get us for that. Because the jump is way too slow to get over that. So that's the only thing to take note of here, because it looks like even though the startup is pretty slow for Menat, for this crouching hard punch, it still looks like she can do it in plenty of time. That no matter when we jump, we're gonna get hit. So don't jump. If you see her doing that, don't jump, because you're not gonna be able to get around it. But that's all it's good for, though. I'm afraid, for her sake. That's all that's good for, is a anti-air. Beyond that, I don't think she'll be using this attack. Okay, let's turn that off. I want to see what the, yeah, we record. Actually, I don't even think I have to record it, because that should already be in there. Slot 5, I want to have her get rid of the crystal ball. Yep. So orb. Okay, so now she's getting rid of it. Now let's see what her crouching hard punch looks like without the without the crystal ball. Before I unpause it here, just the frame data real quick. Same thing. 9 startup frames, so it's very slow. However, her numbers are a little bit better on block and on hit. So she's only -3 on block, and she's +1 on hit. So let's see what this looks like now. Now that we said that. Wow, so that's really, like, really anti-air. I can stand this close to her, and if she does it, she's not gonna hit it. Not gonna hit us. Wow. So, yeah, goodness, she's got no range. What happens though if we try to jump? Oh, see, we can even get around her if we jump at the right time. Can't just jump whenever we want to, but we do. If we jump, if we get close and then jump, we could go in between her doing this. Oh wow. Oh, I got the settings off. I didn't even see that. That's funny. Whoops. Let's do auto recover. Okay. But, oh, she's got the orb back now that I did that. Okay. Yeah. Get rid of the ball again. We'll go back to where we were. Okay. Okay, so we can, you know, get the timing right. I did it once already, but now I can't do it, but seemingly. Okay, yeah, you can time that right. It's a little tricky, but still, generally you're fairly somewhat safe, and you can literally almost jump over that. If your timing is just right, you can jump over that. So I don't see Menat players using this one a lot with a slow startup. So this one's going to be good for, you know, literally just for anti-air. And because the reach is so mediocre without the crystal ball, I would say she's going to want to keep that crystal ball in her hands. 5 frames active with the crystal ball, 4 frames active without it. So yeah, not too much of a difference, but again, with the crystal ball, it was not possible to jump over her, but without it, you can jump over her. So it looks like that's something to keep, you know, just something to keep in mind there. But yeah, you know, you can punish her with any of your normals pretty much. You know, just be careful with the standing hard kick. It looks like that's a little bit of a iffy one. Timing, as long as you get the timing okay, you're fine. Give yourself some distance and get the timing right. If we kicked her right when she was extended, not really. So it's not a good move. We usually get hit if we try to do that. So all the standing normals except for the hard kick are going to be good, and then all of the I'm assuming all the crouching normals. Just be a little careful there. I just did the medium kick and I got nailed. Okay. Yeah, so be careful on your timing on this. Even with the crouching light punch, she can get a crush counter. So wow, which I didn't really notice with the I don't know if you guys caught that. I didn't notice that with the crystal ball. Didn't seem like I had any trouble getting her with the crouching normals, but I guess, yeah, you can pretty much get her with any of the crouching normals here. Just be a little careful. The timing is a little more meticulous. Just be a little careful. But anyway, yeah, you can all the crouchings except for the hard punch. So pretty much the same as last time. The only difference is you know, she won't have as good of a range unless she has a crystal ball, and she's just, you know, the startup frames are the same, so it's not very advantageous without crystal ball. Just slightly on block, 2 points, 2 frame advantage on block, and you know, it's still -3 on block though, but I'm saying 2 frames better than with the crystal ball. You know, so yeah, that's kind of interesting. We counter this. We can counter this with a lot, so it's not going to be real hard. Just be a little careful with the crystal ball on your positioning. When she has a crystal ball, be a little careful on your positioning. You might want to, you know, just be a little further away from her. When she's without the crystal ball, you know, you can get a lot closer. And we've seen that, you know, as we've kind of gone through this playlist, guys. We've seen it. We can't, you know. Generally, when she has a crystal ball, she gets a lot better range, so we don't have to we have to be a little more careful with the crystal ball, but without it, we can sort of get in there and just nail on her a little bit more, and we don't have to worry about it as much. So it looks like this tack is the same. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's getting easier when I do these videos because I feel like there's not as much to really talk about. We've kind of already covered a lot of stuff in the first like 5 to 10, so now it's just getting to the point where it's not taking long to really address these specific attacks. The answer usually ends up being the same. Not exactly the same, but the generals tend to stay true. So all the normals here and the EX, I'm sure the EX Siberian Express will work, but how about the normal? Yeah, we can probably just time the normal good. I mean, it's a little bit easier with these slower attacks, like with the hard punch and the hard kick. She tends to be slow enough that we can almost avoid even having to use the EX version of the Siberian Express. But if you wanted to be super safe and you had the extra meter, you could certainly do that. But you guys have seen me do this now quite a few times. I've been able to get the Siberian Express off, and it doesn't seem like I don't even know if it's possible for her to hit us when we're doing that, but it seems like she can. Wow. Yeah. So we're pretty safe with this one. We're pretty safe with this attack. We don't really have to worry about her punishing us too much. How about the crush counter? We get the crush counter and do the SPD. Oh yeah, be no different than anything else. As soon as she's in that point where she's doing the move, we can get her with the crush counter, and that's it. We're gonna get the SPD. So if we get the crush counter, that's always true. If we get the crush counter with Zangief, we're gonna be able to dash in and get that SPD. If we don't get the crush counter, then we're not gonna get the SPD. That's awesome though, right? I love that counter. I love that counter though. That's super safe. So if she's that slow too, right? She's 9 frames. 9 frame startup, so she's pretty slow. We can definitely, get the standing strong in here, because it'd be silly not to, because it's only like what, 4 frames, I think. I have to look at Zangief again. Well, no, it's 13 startup, but what I meant to say was it's actually 3 that we get upper body armor. So we're definitely gonna, even if we were close enough that she could hit us, we could get the upper body armor and we could still land this punch. But it's 13 frames startup on that. Full charge is 37, but say we were close. Ooh, timing would be, but I mean, we'd have to be right on top of her. Even then, you saw that right on top of her, and because it got armor, she could not hit me. And the startup frames are so slow. Of course, they could, if it was a Menat player, she could counter us in a different way. She wouldn't have to use that same move again. Ooh, that forward headbutt. Can that counter? Oh yeah. Yep, that's a great counter. Awesome. So you have to be careful with the jump ins though. If she was doing this, you really couldn't get the jump in, because it's not slow enough that we can sneak in between it. So yeah, you can't get the jump in on this one. But the headbutt is a great counter. And again, the standing strong would be a good choice, because we can get the SPD. Oops. I messed up twice there. Cool though. Yeah, this is definitely this is a lot of fun to look with. Knee hammer, get the knee hammer, SPD. What are the frames on the knee hammer? I was just curious. Forward, I keep forgetting. Forward, medium kick. Well, 12 frame startup, but I mean, as far as when we actually land it, we're +3. +3 on the knee hammer, so that's why we can get the SPD. If you land the knee hammer, you can get the SPD. It's only negative if she blocks it, but if you catch her in this move, she's not gonna block it. Oh wow! Just be careful with the knee hammer though, because if she does counter you, that's gonna do a lot of damage. But if you get the knee hammer, you can get the SPD, and that goes for anybody, because you get +3 frames on the knee hammer on hit. That plus 3 frames on hit, and then it's only 5 for the SPD startup. So the quickest move Menat has is 3 frame startup. In fact, that's true of pretty much all characters except for critical arts or specials. It's always at least a 3 frame startup. So that's 6 frames to work with when you get the knee hammer. So you can always follow that up with the SPD. If the knee hammer hits. If the knee hammer doesn't hit, you don't get the hit confirm, and then don't SPD because you won't get it. Because if they block your knee hammer, you're negative 3 frames, which means you're slightly punishable. Slightly punishable. It's not terribly dangerous, but it's slightly punishable if you get hit with that knee hammer. So just be careful. If you don't get the hit confirm on the knee hammer, I would not do the SPD as a follow-up. But in regards to her crouching hard punch, it seems fairly suffice to say that you can definitely counter her with the knee hammer SPD, because the frame startup is 9, very slow for Menat. So this is one of her slow moves, so you can definitely counter that. So if you happen to be near her and she suspects you're going to jump and you don't, and you get the knee hammer, you get the knee hammer hit confirmation. Hit confirmation, if you're not aware of it, just means that you actually got that hit. So hit confirmation means you make sure that you actually got the move off before you attempt to follow it up with another attack. So if you got the knee hammer, then that's your hit confirmation. You can go ahead and do the SPD. And that's true with any character, with any move that they're trying to do, because again, with the exception of like if you're fighting Ken or Ryu, or I believe it'd be true for Akuma too, their Shuriken uppercut, if they EX it, if they do the EX version, it's only a 1 frame startup, so they technically can, you know, they can do a recovery of the Shuriken after the knee hammer, and they could catch you in between. So just be aware of that. If you're fighting Ryu or Ken and they have like at least 1 bar of meter, 1 bar of EX meter, then I would not follow up the knee hammer with the SPD, or I'd be a little careful about it, because they could certainly EX Shuriken you. Not to say that they will. Some people are not, the Ryu or Ken player might not be aware that they're able to counter that in between. But just in general, if you do hit the knee hammer, for the most part, or by and large, you're gonna be able to get the SPD as a follow-up. You can follow up with the knee hammer hit confirmation, and you're guaranteed the SPD. In this case, I can't seem to get my timing right. Just because I said that. There we go. Yep. Just have to make sure, again, that hit confirmation. If you don't get the, like, say I got her on always guard, right? And let's turn that off for a second. Say I put her. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll put her to random, so she'll guard sometimes. This would be a good example. If she guard, oh, no, I did the SPD. I don't want to do that though. If she guards it, don't SPD. Actually, you know what we could do? This is, well, that's kind of getting away from the main point here a little bit, because I don't want to go too far off, because we were talking about her crouching medium punch. So we don't want to go off. I won't really do that here. But needless to say, if you don't get the hit confirmation, just back off and don't try to do the SPD, because you're gonna get countered, because he's -3. Let's see, look again. Yeah, he's -3 on the knee hammer. So if you don't get the knee hammer, you're not gonna get the SPD follow up, because they can counter you. But if you get the hit, then you're safe. You're very safe. Now she has full meters. I don't know her special, so it's possible that one of her EXs could be a faster startup frame than 3. But as long as all they have to work with is a free 3 frame startup, as long as that's the best frame startup they have, then you're perfectly safe to punish with the SPD after the knee hammer. That's why I see a lot of top players, you know, like Stupendous or for Zangief I'm referring to, you know, like Stupendous or Itizan, however you want to say his name. He, you know, all due respect to him. You see him do that lots of times. They will knee hammer, make sure they actually get it, make sure they get the hit confirm, and they will SPD as a follow-up. And what if I preemptively, just on this, what if I preemptively jump in? You know, yeah, we can definitely do the preemptive jump in. Looks like you can jump that, so I was wrong initially. Timing has to be like perfect though. I only got it like once. Yeah, I can't really jump over that. So anyway, that's cool. I don't really have a lot else to say about this one, guys. Again, as I do these Menat videos, it's pretty much, you know, I just do it, and a lot of it's just pretty much come down to the same things. You know, which normals will be able to counter it, and then we know that the standing strong, for the most part, has been able to counter most of Menat's normals, and then we're able to get in, dash in. After we get the hit confirmation, after we get that crush counter, we can dash in and SPD her. And then we get moves like this with the hard punch where they're so slow that we can knee hammer her, and then she can't block us because she's still busy with that attack because it's so slow, that so many frames involved, that we can knee hammer her and SPD follow up. But if she does happen to block in time and we don't get the hit confirm, we can just back off, no big deal. We're still fairly safe because -3 on knee hammer block. On guard, we're only -3, so her quickest move is Vframes, but it's the standing light punch, and we've seen that before. The range is just so bad, you know, she's not going to be able to punish us. So takeaway on this crouching hard punch is standing normals. Everything except the standing hard kick will work just fine. If we do the crouching route, everything except the hard punch will work. So again, no hard kick on stand and no hard punch on crouch. And that's the takeaway. This move is super safe to punish with the Siberian Express. You guys see me do that a few times. I didn't even have to EX it because, you know, this move for her is literally a pure anti-air. It's great for anti-air, and that's it. Anything beyond that is basically useless. And with the hard, it's not a useless move. I'm saying it's useless in the context of doing anything except anti-airing. So if you're not really jumping much, I don't see Menat players really throwing that one out, just because it's such a slow startup. And I think she may have a better standing option. As opposed to doing that, but or a similar option, which might be a little bit quicker. So, but anyway, all right, guys. I think that's it. I won't take up any more time. Thanks so much for watching, and come back and watch for more videos. Take care.